So apparently Sylvester Stallone is voicing King Shark in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
I did not know that.
It?
Huh.
No.
We can talk about the Suicide Squad trailer. We're doing it right now.
That's true. We could. I thought like they had speculated that it was Steve Agee voicing him, but then I saw him in the trailer like briefly, and I wasn't sure if that was like if he was related to King Shark or if there was like a human form and it was a flashback or what.
Did
but
you
yeah, that
make
makes
that
sense,
name
actually.
up?
No,
Steve Agee. That sounds like a made-up name.
it's not. He's one of the James Gunn collaborators. He's one of the Ravagers in Guardians.
Sounds like a fake name. It's all
It's
I'm
not.
saying.
Here, I'll show you.
It could be his Hollywood name. You know how that goes.
You're gonna run into Steve Agee on the street, and he's like, "I heard what you said about me."
I heard you said punk. It's like, dude, I just said I didn't think your name was real. That's all. You exist.
Birth name is Stephen Douglas Agee.
Wow.
Weird. Agee.
Didn't even change it for Hollywood.
Nope. He is in a lot of things actually. He's apparently going to be in the. Oh, okay. So his Suicide. He is King Shark. He's doing the motion capture for King Shark. That makes sense.
There you go.
Stallone is the voice.
Yeah. Okay. But he also plays another character, I guess. Let's see. I'm trying to find his Guardians character.
What I got over here.
Oh, it's
Just
Jeff. I don't know. That doesn't mean anything, probably.
Geoff.
Hey, yo, Rick! Look at this giant starfish over here. I'm gonna bite it.
All right. He just like straight up leaves us.
Did I make him mad? What?
I don't know. I heard something go off. I didn't know what it was, and then he just left.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I can't believe John Cena was in that trailer. Like I didn't realize he was in Suicide Squad.
What are you talking?
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Joke.
No, he wasn't.
Funny joke. I couldn't see him, John Cena.
What trailer? Stop it. Okay, stop. He wasn't in the trailer. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. I've heard that joke a million times. I'm tired of it already.
It's never not funny.
It's
always
boring
funny.
as fuck now.
I always gonna laugh out of it.
Well, you probably like it. The John Cena, I didn't see him in the trailer joke.
Oh, I'm kind of tired of like that joke being overdone.
Oh man, I always enjoy it. I always laugh at it because I don't see it a lot. Maybe that's why I don't because he's never there.
I see it all the time because I watch
it's
wrestling.
Occasionally well done.
I don't care if it's well done. I just like it's the joke of the generation. I don't care. It's awesome. Also,
that's why our generation is terrible.
Yeah.
Please, all generations are terrible.
Yeah. People are terrible.
Yep.
Let's be honest.
Which is why Godzilla is the best.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Charge Shot Gamescast. Each and every week, friends gather around and talk about video games again. This week, I have with me Justin.
There was a weird amount of pause before you said my name.
I was waiting for you to finish your drink, asshole.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Fucking idiot. All right. And then we have the lovely Ben.
Your mama is so fat, she blocked the Suez Canal, and now she can't get out. Topical.
Did they fix that yet? Did they get that ship out of there? No, it's still there.
Not even close. Not even close. I'm like Daniel, what's his name? Daniel Craig, like from Knives Out. Like, it makes no damn sense because I don't understand boating. I don't understand commerce like that. But it compels me. I'm reading articles on this shit. Apparently somebody posted on Facebook that the reason why it's stuck is because somebody said, like, well, it's probably human trafficking and shit, and they're covering for it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding?
Everything is human trafficking if you try hard enough.
Insane people. It's like specifically Hillary Clinton. It's just too funny.
Wow.
I feel bad for the boatman, but apparently nobody's dead, so it's fine.
That's good.
But it just means get ready for your gas prices to go up, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Biden's fault.
Oh yeah, probably.
That's what people say.
Don't blame it on him. Don't blame it on him. Oh well. I kind of this feels like a 2020 story. Hearing the Suez Canal is blocked.
Don't you know that 2021 is just 2020 part 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Turbo Edition. Yeah. Now I'm just waiting. Is that going to happen to the Panama Canal? I just love that my knowledge of the Suez Canal came in handy because I actually knew what the fuck it was. I talked to people all week this week. They're like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Did you not learn what the Suez Canal was in school? Did nobody pay attention to the Suez Canal?
We learned it here. It's great. I love it." Yeah, I had to write a paper about the fucking Suez Canal.
Yeah, it's fucked up. You have to, if you take a boat in there, you have to have like, I think Egypt's boat, like people like they're called pilots. I'm learning so much about this that I didn't know, and it's awesome. It's hilarious.
Welcome to Boat Facts with Ben.
Awesome. Like now, there's like a map. One of my friends, she actually works in like distribution of like having to travel by boat, stuff like that, of like how things go. I don't know the exact term, but she's great. And like she showed a picture on Twitter of like boats going down Africa to like Johannesburg, like South Africa, and around because it's just like it's stuck. It's got to get moving somehow. So like, yeah, it's great. It's crazy. It's insane.
Awesome. So Justin, do you want to talk about video games?
I mean, we could keep talking about boats, I guess, but
do you know any other famous or famous canals?
The Panama Canal is one that
Ben said that.
I've heard of.
Where did you hear from it? Did you hear from it today on the show?
Actually, going back to games, I've been playing. I started playing Civilization 6.
Any good canals in there?
There's plenty of canals and boats in that game, so it's very educational.
Oh my god!
So I got all your boat facts now. I'm a geography expert. As long as that geography is done across like 500 turns and changes every time you play.
Just like real life.
Yeah,
what
it's a very specific caveat.
Located in
the Suez?
Yeah,
I don't know. I've never heard of it before.
It's located in Suez. What are you talking about?
You don't know how bad the Missouri education system is, okay?
The Texas, okay, first of all, that's no excuse because I live in Texas, which is worse. You get that shit from us, and I know what the Suez Canal is. That's just called not doing the reading. It's in Egypt, motherfucker.
Hey, I had like a 3.5 GPA in high school.
Ooh,
I didn't start sucking until college.
Yeah, is that why you're scared of infrared vision?
You know what?
Because you have a 3.5 GPA.
He doesn't need this.
Body!
200 episodes is a good run. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, this is a great 200 episode.
It's not my fault. I'm educated.
Are you?
Know about the Suez Canal? Do you? No. So
We're all on edge tonight.
So you are educated on one thing.
That's all I need.
I'll give you that. You enjoy your one fact.
College degree to be educated.
You can be uneducated with a college degree. I'm proof of that.
True. Just look at.
Don't say true.
Yeah, no, it's true. Look at Silicon Valley. A bunch of idiots over there. They just happen to have a lot of fucking money and be able to spend it all. Fuck Silicon Valley. Sorry.
Don't even know.
Not sorry. Fuck them. Fuck them all. They're coming here and I hate them.
Everything we have is like all the technological advances we have is because of Silicon Valley. There's a lot of trash, but it's it's the diamond in the rough syndrome.
Homes.
All right, let's get it back on track here, Justin. Video games.
Yeah. So there's really only two main games that I want to talk about. I've played a few random things, but I'll go ahead and start with Civ 6 since I already brought it up. That wasn't a joke. I have been playing it. Actually, I just started it last night at like 11 p.m. Basically, after I finished streaming, I hopped on a call with my friends because they've been playing for like a few months now, and I didn't think I'd be interested in it, so I didn't bother. But it was on sale again, like super cheap digital. And so I was like, whatever. If nothing else, it's something I can play with them like we love our board games and stuff, so they can teach me how to play. It'll be fine. Cut to like 5 hours later. It's almost 4 a.m. And they're basically saying, like, they're the ones that always stay up all night and everything. I'm usually in bed by 9, but I didn't have to work today, so I was like, whatever. So I was in it for the long haul, and we were like 80 turns in or something like that in a multiplayer game, which of course, like, if people leave, your game ends. Like, you either play together or you don't. So like we all had to kind of agree when to quit. And so they were like, okay, I have to be up in like 2 hours. I should be responsible. Like, someone has to call this. And I'm like,
I have to be up in 2 hours.
Fine. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I had off. They're crazy. But yeah, so they finally decided to end it. And I like basically like I still couldn't fall asleep, but I didn't want to start a new game by myself at 4 a.m. Like, that's dumb. So I went to bed. Like basically dreaming about geography and war. And then woke up and booted up my own single player scenario and started playing again this morning until like noon.
Nice. So you had a typical white man's fantasy?
Yes.
Oh, got him.
You're from the state of war. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that was originally my people's land to begin with, so there you go. Just saying.
Yeah. But yeah, that game is really fun. Like, I don't totally understand it yet still because it's very chunky. But I get like the basics of, moving your troops and building more things. And like, it's not full on RTS because it's not like free roam, active time or whatever.
Yeah,
it's more like a board game where it's turns.
Yeah, they call them 4X games, which is like exploration and a couple other X's. I can't remember what they were.
The 4 E's.
That makes sense. I can see
evil X's.
The 4 evil X's.
The 4 X's. Wait, no, is it? Why is it X? It should be E's or X's. What? I'm confused. Okay,
well, it's EXs. Like,
yeah.
EX.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the X's.
Not like this, but like
EX. I don't think that was mirrored. Yeah, that wasn't mirrored. Great.
It stands for explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate.
Wow, okay. That you just had the white man's creed, and that's just the white man's creed in the early 1600s. Holy shit! Oh my god!
I used to be really into these kind of games. Like, I played like Total War Empire, which is really cool. I think it take place in like the 1800s or so. Like, Prussia was still around, and you could like just go off and
Prussia.
Like you would actually take over the entire world, like all the continents were in the game. It was really cool.
This isn't so much continents, it's civilizations, obviously, but like you have all the different country leaders, and they duke it out like across time. So like you could do we did like a marathon game which starts at I think 5000 BC, and you just go forward in technology up to, so every turn is like 5 years or something like that. And you go up through time. And like as you increase your studies and things like that, you learn new technology, and so it just kind of like naturally progresses by like researching in your city and things like that. While time is passing, like my friends like immediately got into a war, and so they were like stuck, like they couldn't go anywhere else. There was just basically their two civilizations and then like a bunch of troops down south. So they just like kind of converged and started attacking the people, and we're in a war for technically like 500 years because it was like 50 turns of this war.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So like the way that time relates to turns is kind of funny, I think. But yeah, the game's super cool. It's not my normal type of thing. Like at first I was like, okay, I have no idea what's happening. Like, I'm so lost. But the more I got into it, I was like, yeah. It doesn't. I think it's actually on Game Pass for you. Right now,
I'm never gonna touch it. Never.
No, fair. I'm just saying, like, if you were curious, it's free. But Thomas, it's $15 right now on PS4 through the end of the month.
PS4.
So, yeah,
Weird. Because
So, honestly, like the console version's not like.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty functional.
Civ was mostly known for PC, and then they made Civilization Revolution, which was actually like pretty console friendly. And I guess ever since then they figured it out and just applied it to their main games.
The only thing that kind of bums me out is you can't like rotate the map. But basically every other function is there.
Yeah.
So like, you can zoom in, you can move your piece around, you can move the map separately of it. Like it takes a little getting used to the gamepad controls, and I kind of wish you could use the touchpad to like, kind of move a cursor around, but you can't. It's mostly just for like selecting options.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get it though, because I'm trying to put myself on a spending freeze, like trying to not spend money. Like Watch Dogs Legion was like $20 here, and I just didn't get it because I knew I wasn't going to play that. I'm still playing Odyssey.
Like I said, I just got it because like my friends are really into it, and
yeah,
like generally they're the ones I played Dead by Daylight with too. So like I only got that because of them, and it's really fun with them, but I don't play it by myself. So this is probably going to be one of those, especially if like every time you do a new multiplayer pairing, you have to create a new game. Like that kind of sucks.
Which version are you on? Is it you said 4?
PS4.
Oh no, which one is it? 6? Civ 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Civ 6.
I was gonna say 4 is an old one. Like
and there's like a ton of DLC and stuff for it. It's ridiculous.
You can go into space.
But I wanted to make sure I liked it first.
You can go into space, right?
Yeah, I think one of the DLC packs is space. Yeah. It's like the New Frontier pack.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, there's a lot of different troop types, and like each like world leader has their own like unique like things they can build, like some kind of unique melee troop in one of the ages. Like it depends, like in the multiplayer game I started as Gilgamesh, and so like all of his unique stuff is like Stone Age. So right away I had like some really powerful unique troops, and I was like, all right, I picked a good like new person friendly leader because I get all the good stuff. Whereas later, like that stuff probably goes away, but by then I'll understand the game a little better. So it's kind of cool. You can like choose the leader that like fits your play style and stuff. But yeah, it's one of those that's kind of hard to explain because like it's a lot, but it's like a really complex version of Settlers of Catan. Because you're still doing like kind of the resource gathering and stuff. Like you have to make sure you have enough food coming in from your citizens to like grow your civilization, while also having enough like production points to make the new troops and things that you're trying to make. And then like every few turns your land mass kind of expands, so like your city state gets bigger and like brings in new hexes of things. So like you might suddenly get a hex with like horses on it. So if you research like animal husbandry, you can marry a horse. I mean, you can train a horse. So like it all depends on where you get dropped in the world and the things that are around you and the things that you research, and like
just like real life.
Yeah. So I'm kind of surprised like how invested I've been. And part of why I jumped back into it this morning was because like I wanted to make sure I understood it, and it wasn't just like I was doing what my friends told me to do every turn. So I wanted to do like a solo thing of like, okay, let's see how far I can get just on my own. Yeah. But I had to quit because my brother and I were doing some VR stuff this afternoon. Yeah. But anyway, aside from that, I also got the new Story of Seasons game, Pioneers of Olive Town, and it's a lot of fun too. I guess I'm on like a simulation kick right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's Harvest Moon. Like Story of Seasons is just Harvest Moon under a different label because Harvest Moon sucks now. But it's really satisfying in a way that a lot of them haven't been in recent years, because it doesn't feel as like samey. Oops, cheers. I forgot where the camera was. There's a much heavier emphasis on like crafting and foraging and things, because really the only areas that exist are like a fairly large town that grows as you complete requests and things like that. Like it brings in new shops and stuff. and then a farm that starts out pretty small and just has like kind of one little patch where you can do your farming and stuff, and then like a mine you can go into kind of off the side of your farm. And like you start in a tent. You don't even have a house at first. You have to upgrade your tent into a log cabin, and then you can get a pet. And like there's a dilapidated building on your property, which when you fix that up, you can start buying chickens. And then there's a bridge on your property. When you fix that up, you can go across to like a much larger farmland mass that has like a dilapidated cow barn and like some fancier resources and ponds that you can like sift the water out of to find treasure. And another mine with, like again, kind of later game resources, and like it's a very logical progression to the game that makes it feel like you're making progress and not just like kind of grinding your days away. You still do that, but like honestly, I haven't been doing much actual farming because like I can like forage enough from around my farm and stuff, and like there's not that much need for money early on because nothing's super expensive, and because you craft everything, you're not like going to the shop and buying all the stuff you need. You're really trying to collect resources so you can build those things. So I don't know, like it's kind of funny how like it's come full circle because we got Stardew Valley a few years ago, which was very clearly inspired by the Harvest Moon games, but kind of brought its own spin in, had a much more complex like crafting system, and obviously there was all the combat and stuff you can do in the mines and all that. Yeah, and this doesn't quite go to that extreme. Yeah. But like there's still like you can fight things. Yeah, it's great. You can like fight things in the mines. Like you hit moles with your hammer and they give you like clay or some other resource that you can only get from them. And if they like break out of the ground and like you don't hit them in time, they like damage your stamina, so you don't have as much stamina to do stuff with. So there's still kind of those complications there that make the mines more than just like punching rocks. So like it feels very simple with only the village and your farm. And when I read about that, I was like, oh really? Like, is this game gonna suck? And like, no, it's just they got rid of a lot of like the outskirts areas that were basically just for foraging berries and stuff, and offloaded all of that stuff onto your farm, which gets huge apparently. Like by the time you find the horse barn and fix that, like you need the horse to get around your farm.
Yeah,
because it's so big.
I watched the video you made, and it kind of just looks like your farm area is just like a forest, basically. Yeah. I mean, you're a pioneer. Like you're bringing back this whole like it's basically if you think of like actual farms and stuff, they are on acres of land. Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
And if you look at past Harvest Moon games, it's not you have one plot basically. Big. That's it. Yeah. So, I mean, this feels a lot more realistic where you're like constantly clearing up things, and I'm not a big fan of the puddles and stuff. Like like I said, you get a bucket and you can like sift water out of these like larger ponds to get treasure and stuff. But there's also just puddles around that act like weeds and rocks and stuff. And you don't really get anything for them. They're just a nuisance.
That's a shame.
But I do kind of like the getting treasure, like buried treasure from the bottom of ponds. It just takes forever to empty those ponds. And there's one big one on my landmass right now that like I have spent 2 days using all of my energy on it, and it's about halfway. Like I get that you're supposed to kind of play the long game with it, but good grief, this pond. Does my bucket have a hole in it? But yeah, a lot of the suitors in this game are also really cute. I haven't decided who I want to go for yet, but I think I'm leaning towards Lynn, who's kind of like the little flower girl at the boutique. Yes.
Does she have green hair?
No.
Damn.
Oh, are you going off of like Fire Emblem?
Yeah.
Okay. I understood that reference.
I understood
But-
that reference.
She has like, she's kind of the bookworm, and like has a really cute like kimono outfit, and I don't know, she's unique.
Oh, Justin's Weebness is coming out.
The one that I like the most, I don't think is a romance option, which is weird because it seems like she should be. But like, I saw a scene between her and one of the other guys, and I think they're an item, so maybe they didn't make her available.
Just
I don't
make
know.
it a menage a trois.
Right? And like, this game brings in like same-sex relationships and stuff. So I mean,
Nice.
why not have a throuple? More people to work on your farm.
Oh my god.
Just a Mormon slave farm.
We worked hard to get same sex. I think we got to work a little harder to get menage a trois to become a thing in games.
That's fair. But I mean, like, I want to romance everyone, so
Damn,
But,
you're
like-
just a polygamist at heart, aren't you?
yeah, a little bit.
Oh
But-
my God.
Basically, I want to get everyone like as high as they can be because I think you get gifts for it, and then I'll decide which one to actually marry. So I'll just string them along and give them the things I need from them, like my little puppets.
Damn, that's like
It's a video game. That's what you
Opposite of
always
how-
do.
Right.
no, that's the opposite. When I usually find the one girl or guy, but mostly girl, and I'm like, it's just you, baby, you and me versus the world. That's it.
No, you gotta play the game.
Yeah.
Mm.
The guys are pretty disappointing. Like,
This
don't
is
know.
not a meathead.
well, the one that I thought like was kind of interesting is the other half of the girl that I wanted to date. So
Ah.
like, they're a pair, so I don't know if he's available either.
You
It's-
gotta
it's
break them
confusing.
up. You gotta break them up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna commission fan art of a menage a trois between you all three.
do it. The weird thing is like in past games, like all the ones that you can romance have like a heart icon on their dialogue boxes whenever you talk to them, so you can kind of keep track of like where you are with them when you talk. This doesn't have that. It doesn't even have portraits, which is weird because the portraits are in the game. They just don't have them on the dialogue boxes. So you have to go into the status menu to like see the whole list of all the villagers and your status with them. And it has portraits of them there and like a little description of like who they are and stuff. But some of the hearts are red and some of them are like an orangish color. And so I'm guessing the red ones are the romance options and the orange ones are just like friends. But it doesn't state that anywhere. So I guess I need to do some more research. But
Look at the
yeah.
manual.
it does have a manual.
Nice.
I haven't seen a game with a manual in a long time, and it's this really cute little like it's like a visitor's guide to Olive Town. Like it's framed that way. So it's
Aw.
like for your tourist needs, like here's this information. And it like lays out each of the buildings and like
Nice.
what there is to do around the town. And it's really cool.
Nice.
There's a lot of personality in the game still. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. Like it's one that hasn't gotten a lot of publicity. I feel like that's why I did a video on it. And like I went all over town trying to find a copy of this friggin' game because I get digital for everything, so I didn't really know there's been like I guess distribution issues and stuff with games in the past year. And so like I figured, it's not going to be that popular. I can just go into a store and grab a copy, but no stores had any copies. Like they just didn't get the game in. So like I ended up at GameStop, and the guy there told me that this is not an ad, and they're going to be under in like 3 months anyway. And the guy there told me that like kind of explained the situation of COVID and how like their higher ups have basically said, push pre-orders and fulfill those. Like on big games, maybe get a few extra, but just make sure you get enough for the pre-orders and don't worry about anything else because people aren't coming into the store right now. Which makes a lot of sense. But I was in the store at that moment, and there was other people in there, so like clearly some people are going to stores. And luckily they had one pre-order cancel of the game.
Oh wow!
So he had one extra of the special editions of the game,
Nice.
which I didn't need, but it was $10 more, and it was the only one in town. So I was like, whatever, my wife's paying for it. I'll grab it.
Wow.
And it has this cute little figure, like a little plush buffalo, and like a cloth
pig? Or
picture.
I mean, the cow?
No, they did the cow for the last one, I think. They've done a different animal for every game. So you can have like a whole set. But the buffalo is pretty cute. I can grab it real quick. But
how are you doing today, Thomas?
I don't know. Thank you for asking.
My little buddy.
Oh, it looks
pretty cute.
He's gonna
It
be
looks like a shoe.
Look at that udder. He's got udders.
Nice.
His little butt. Yeah.
Nice.
He's my buddy. He's gonna sit back here. So yeah, I'm just glad I found a copy. Like it was an ordeal. But like I wanted to go physical so that we could share it. Like, you know, when I'm playing Mario or whatever, my wife can just pop it out of my Switch, put it on hers, and, you know, play her farm.
Mm-hmm.
So like it was important to get that version, but man, it was a hassle. It's worth it though. It's a great game. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I've been playing other stuff, but I don't really want to talk about them.
Ben.
So I've really only played 2 games this week that are worth merit, because y'all don't want to hear me talk about Mortal Kombat 11. Other than the fact that I'm nailing this rain combo consistently now, even online, so I feel good about myself in that sense. And even I think I ended like 2 matches with the brutality with it, which is so fucking sick. But Barry Default too, I made some progress. I'm making some progress on the game. I decided to just take my fucking time with it and just beat it when I beat it. And I initially fought the boss I just beat was the red mage. For the life of me, I couldn't figure out like what job is he? Ben, what job could the guy wearing red be? I wonder. Didn't find out. So like, oh, dumbass, he's the red.
He's using black magic and white magic. I wonder what he is.
Yeah, I was like, I can't. Wonder what job, because I understood what the ranger was, because ranger has the bow. But so in Brave Default, they're really emphasizing, or even they're really emphasizing companions. Like occasionally, and not even just occasionally. It seems like every chapter so far, you have somebody traveling with you who either you don't do much, but they definitely can affect the battle. Sometimes in a negative way. Namely, when one of my characters has the Beastmaster class, which I'm never really been a fan of Beastmaster. I haven't really played a lot of games with it anyway, but I'm finding it really useful here because the Beastmaster has an ability where you can it's basically false swipe in terms of Pokemon terms. You can knock it down to 1 HP, and it has 2 versions of that: a weaker version and a stronger version. And pretty much, unfortunately, you can't capture anything unless their HP is like at 1. And this is going back to the companions part. Companions can either heal damage or whatever, depending on what their job status is, or even sometimes they'll join you after they lost the job status. Because then once you beat their ass, you take their asterisks. Like for the first game. And it's like occasionally, sometimes like, oh yeah, I like. There's in the By the way, if you're gonna go for the rain, if you're gonna just a quick tip for Brave Default 2 players. In the second chapter, you have 2 choices to go after 2 different bosses at the same time. You can either go after the red mage first or go after the ranger first. If you're going to go after the ranger first, in the forest dungeon that you're in, there's these creatures that specifically do light magic. Get one of your characters, the Beastmaster class, capture like at least 9 of them. They're not hard to capture. You just got to find them. Sometimes they're in the overworld, and they usually appear in most boss fights. And I say that because the ranger boss fight has like a little demon inside of him. You could pretty much wipe it out with that monster. It's not even funny how cheap that is. But sometimes when I try to capture a monster, the companion will kill it, and it's like, why did you do that? It's mine. And the enemies do this earthbound thing where like if you're beyond a certain level, they'll actually run away from you. I really wish they went full away with that, where like if you just walked into them, you just destroyed them and you gave them some XP, some JP, but you don't. It's whatever. You can either fight them or you don't. And so right before I kind of stopped playing today, I fought the red mage because the first time I tried it, ass kicked, didn't know what I was expecting, put the game down for a bit. Came back, I think it was early this week. I think it was even Sunday, actually. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fight this fucker. And like my companion, his wife, funny enough, she was a ranger, so she basically paralyzed shot, which she basically pretty much paralyzed. She paralyzed both the demon and him at the same time. So it was pretty much just free charge. Like I had like 4 free turns, just to body his ass. It was hilarious. But he wasn't that difficult of a fight. Like after a while, he started to heal himself, and for some reason the white mage doesn't have a reflex spell, and I don't understand why. I don't know. I don't think reflect was even in Bravely Default 1 or Bravely 2nd, honestly, now that I think about it. But I like reflex spells because, like, especially for characters who like enemies who try to heal themselves, I'm like, bitch, that's my turn. That's mine now. One of my favorite tactics to do in like old school RPG games.
Are you sure it's not just a different job? That seems like a more specialty magic, you know, like Time Mage or something like that.
Yeah, I did like the Time Mage in Bravely Default, but I don't think I leveled it up too much. By the way, fucking leveling up jobs in this game is much easier. I don't know what it is, but I just seem to. Oh yeah, I know what it is. If you start out with a job at a certain, I guess if you like start brand new, give a character a new job, they have an underdog bonus, so they gain a little bit of extra JP. So not a lot, but it definitely helps, and especially if you start using those JP orbs and that you gain while doing the selling minigame, or not even minigame, selling while it's in sleep mode, you get a lot of that stuff. So yeah, it's still going really smoothly. I think I'm approaching the chapter boss of this one, so I'll probably try to beat that this weekend. And again, unfortunately, the hook still hasn't happened yet, but I'm just kind of just like, I'm just enjoying this game for what it is, and then when it happens because I've already seen not like actual things, but like I've already seen alleging things like shit gets better, shit gets more interesting. So I'm holding out. The other game I played this week was Monster Hunter Rise, specifically the demo, because I only played like a little bit of the main game. Oh, I'm sorry, Thomas. I apologize. I'll keep moving faster. So I was like, I'm gonna go ham. I was like, I was kind of on the fence with Monster Hunter Rise because, as you guys know, I'm not really sure. I wasn't really sure about Monster Hunter Rise. Like I want to be hyped for it, but I've had problems with previous Monster Hunter games where like it just seems too overwhelming. It just like it looks cool, but like, and of course, by the time I could never play World because I didn't have a system for it, and by the time I got a system for it, it was just like I felt like it was too late to play it already. At least for me personally, I know it's dumb to say, but it's just like whatever. So I was like, okay, with Rise on the Horizon, I'm gonna try to demo
Horizon.
Yeah. With sorry, I'm bye.
You're gonna boost my audio for that joke, right?
No,
it was real good.
So I was like, okay, Monday. I was gonna play Haven on Monday because I want to play more. I just want to see those two kiss each other a lot because it's true.
Now who's the horny one?
I want to make it look. Listen, we talked about. I said I want to be in a Menage a Try with them. So there you go.
There you go.
Menage a Tries all the way around. But I didn't because I was like, I'm gonna go all in on Monster Hunter. I'm gonna try this demo because they actually updated the demo with like a new monster. I think they put the Magnamalo or like the mascot monster for this game, I think, on it. I didn't do that because I'm not insane, but I did the beginner monster. I was like, okay. I experimented with some weapons. I did the dual blades. I did the hammer. Hammer is really, really fun, especially with some of the wire bug stuff. That stuff's really, really fun. Dual blades are really fun. I didn't really try any of the projectile ones because I just don't. I don't know. I just didn't try them. I figured I wouldn't like them, but maybe.
I like the bow.
This game goes.
From World, anyways. I like the bow.
They looked interesting. I kind of wanted to try Insect Glade, but I didn't give it. I didn't have time. At least now, since it's already out.
Yeah.
Who knows? I could just try it in the main game. But the one that stuck with me was the longsword, or I think so, just because it looks like a cool big ass samurai sword. I was like, this looks badass.
Yeah.
So I defeated. I think it looked like a fox monster. He looks pretty. It was pretty cool. You have to chase him around, and monsters have to run around. Visually, this game looks amazing. It's crazy that it's running on Switch. And
any Jaggies that you're fighting?
Not that I noticed.
No.
Not that I think you're going to notice. Maybe if you pay attention, like an
Thomas will notice.
Like
yeah, I'm a
zooming
super
in, like, look
fan.
at this texture. Look at this fucking texture. Worst game of the year. How dare you do this, Capcom? I don't care. Fuck it. It runs great. It looks beautiful. It probably hides itself a lot. I didn't notice any severe frame rate drops. There probably were, but I didn't.
Every time I see it, I'm like, this looks ugly. But whatever.
Dude. Anyways, so I played it and like, okay, let me try the intermediate monster, which was this really cool purple like dragon monster, like a dragon fox. It looks really cool. No, because that thing sucks. He's like he shoots out bubbles and stuff like that. So I was like, let me try this, because one of the things that scares me about Monster Hunter is that, like, I know people who play it, but I want to see if I can play this game by myself and like how feasible. Like, I know people say you can, but all I ever see is people play with others, and so like I don't know how true it is. You can play.
It's more fun to play with others. That's why.
I get that, but my point is, like, can I have just as much fun if I'm playing the game by myself? That's all I'm saying. I know it probably makes it easier and more fun, because
I've never played with anyone else. I've always done it solo, and I've still had a good time with it.
But I never. My point is, I never see it. I only see people play multiplayer. I never see anybody do it.
Get a habit into like making bombs and traps and stuff. You can do them with the barrels. Get into that, actually. Okay.
I was gonna get into that
because that was one of the things that I didn't do at the beginning. Like, I just said, traps, whatever. I don't want to deal with it, and then I learned about them, and I was like, oh, these are really helpful.
So I went after it. It took me like 9 tries. I even like vented my frustrations about it into Discord. He did, like, it was just so fast, recognizing enemy patterns, knowing when to attack. I actually had to look up a guide, because unfortunately the demo doesn't really tell you like how the weapons work or like the wire bug moves works. It doesn't really tell you that, and I think that's kind of shitty. But I just like, fuck it. There's gonna be a guide of this somewhere by now, so I did, and I learned how to do combos. I know, okay, this is my light, this is my heavy, this does this. Okay, I can combo into this. I can do this. Okay, I understand it now. And once I did that, and basically dodging to save my life, oh my god! Eventually, like I was like, fuck, I'm just gonna put this game down for a bit. I'll come back. I went to go eat something. I came back, full concentration mode, slayed that fucking monster. I was like, yeah! It was like, it felt so cool. But I do love about it, though, I didn't know this, but like, there's like other monsters that are like roaming the fucking map while you're trying to kill the main one. So I would think theoretically, if you're good enough, you can kill all of them in one go. I didn't try that. I was like, I'm just gonna go after the main guy, because like, I figured there's no point, just because like you can't really craft or do anything in the demo. So I was like, I'll just go after the main monster.
I don't think you get like quest completion for doing monsters that aren't part of your quest, but you would still get supplies.
Items, like you'll get like crafting, you get like gear stuff, like like that's the point of doing that. So
also, sometimes they have subtasks, like you need to kill these other creatures as a bonus.
So and that, once I slayed that monster, I was like, okay, I'm all in. Let me go check the status of my pre-order on Amazon, see when it's gonna come arrive. And I was like, I didn't pre-order the game. I thought I pre-ordered the game, but I guess I never did. So I basically said, you know what? With a game like this, as intense as it's going to be, where like I just don't want to, like, because I don't want to stop playing Bravely Default 2, and I had that physically. I was like, fuck it, I'll just get it digitally. Screw it. It's only like 7.6 gigabytes on Switch, which I thought it'd be a lot more, considering how big. I mean, the world obviously is not as big as Monster Hunter World, but it's a nice big area. It's really open, and there's actually, and I didn't know this until like I was like fucking around. There's like a section that's all up in these like trees once you go higher up. It's really cool. It's a really cool visual location. And so and I went all in. I actually started the game today. I created my own character. She looks like Chun-Li because of course she does. And you can change however your character wants at any time. But I figured, shit, I want to play as a cute girl, so I'm gonna play as a cute girl. But you can change it at any point in time. Huh?
Can you fight with kicks?
No, unfortunately not. Sadly not. You just get the weapons. No, unless maybe they add a Chun-Li skin because into this game. I mean, they had a Ryu and Sakura skin in
That's
Monster
true.
Hunter
It is
World,
Capcom.
So we'll see.
I'm sure there'll be some crazy skins for this game.
Yeah, I mean, shit, you can play as Jerry from the River in the Monster Hunter World, so you can do that.
And Mega Man, I think.
Yeah, I don't no. I think it was like the Palicos. I don't remember. The only experience I have of World was whenever I would stay up till like I would fall asleep to Max playing it till like 5 in the morning.
That's true.
Or at least 5 in the morning my
Mega
time.
Man.
But like I'm all in. Like I want to give this game a shot. I want to love this game. I really want to feel like a cool badass playing this game. I already know people who play it. Me and Tyler are actually gonna play, not stream it, because I feel like streaming this game as a rookie as I am is a disaster waiting to happen. So me and him are gonna play on Monday, hopefully at least, unless things go awry, and try to do some stuff together. But yeah, I'm all in. I want to like this game. It looks cool. This is going to be the first monster game where I actually give a flying fuck.
Oh, it is for a Palico. Okay.
I think that's it. Oh, I love the dogs. I can't remember their proper names in it, but I love the dogs and I love the customization for the dogs. I made mine look like a bigger version of my first dog who passed away, so he's always with me now. Named him Lucky. I miss you, boy. And I named my cat, my Palico, after my cat who's asleep in the living room, Eddie. So my pals, Lucky and Eddie. And then shout outs to Tyler, because apparently you get a pet owl in this game. I didn't know that. For giving me the awesome pun name of Oliver Queen. So that was great.
It's real good.
Yeah.
I constantly forget you have a cat because you don't like share pictures or anything.
Because he just likes to be by himself. He's fine.
Fair enough.
Like he's usually asleep in the back, and I just leave him be. He comes out every now and then when he wants food, but he's a quiet boy. Yeah. Unless it's in the morning, and then he's like, yeah, in my door, and like he's fine. I have 3 cats, dude.
What?
Yeah, I have 3 cats. I've told you this. But the other 2 are chonkers, and they're like I can't they never really integrated because my third cat Eddie, he never really he was a surprise, so like they're very territorial, so I got to keep them apart, especially now. So like they're in another room altogether, but I see them.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
well, that's why Callie's usually just kind of like with me because she doesn't like to be around the others, so she just hangs out quietly in the background.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's it. She's a cute cat. Yeah, that's all I've been playing. I wanted to play more Haven, but that did not happen. And I wanted to try to start some more games on Game Pass. But sadly, my Switch has been dominating me once again. What a surprise! Yeah, I'll shut up now.
So this week, I've basically just been playing Assassin's Creed. I won't talk about it though. I did get a Series X. You could see it right next to the speaker. The black box there. It's pretty big. It's about as tall as my speaker. It's
not PS5 size.
No. No. I think PS5 is more taller. This is more wider. But I think it fits pretty well in where I need to put it.
I didn't even notice that's what that was.
Really?
Yeah. It's very sleek. Like it just kind of sits there.
Yeah, it blends in pretty well. But yeah, the setup before it was really good. You just use your phone and it just reads all the data off your phone that you've signed into the Xbox app. From that. And I really haven't played with it too much. I played a little bit of Odyssey with it. That's not Series X enhanced at all. So, but it is Xbox One X enhanced. So I'm still getting a pretty good frame rate in 4K, and it looks a lot better than it does on my monitor. So there's that. I played a little bit of Forza because I got that. Might as well check it out. I don't know, man. It's still Forza. It's still doing its thing. But the game that I've actually been playing the most recently has been Marvel's Avengers. They've dropped the Hawkeye DLC, so I figured I'd give that a shot. And they did a really good job.
I forgot that was this last week. I should have talked about that too, but we can
I thought you were saving it for me. That's fine. But yeah, I think they did a really good job with Hawkeye. Like his first abilities that he gets is really good. He gets like an AoE arrow. He shoots into the ground that does healing. And the other one he does is an AoE attack that it's like a bunch of bombs. It spreads. And then his ultimate is like a homing arrow that tracks all the enemies on the field. It attacks them all.
Picture like Yondu from Guardians.
Yeah, pretty
like
much.
His little whistle thing.
Yeah, his little whistle arrow.
Yeah. And you can buff that too. It's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far yet. What else? The PS5 version of the game is insane. Like, it's insane how fast it loads now. Like, those loading screens, they're gone, basically. Like, it'll be very rare that you'll ever see those again.
There's the conversations like on elevators and on the Quinjet and stuff, but they're not needed for load screens. They're just still there.
Yeah. Also, it runs super smooth. Like, I opted for the 60 FPS version, and oh my god, that's the right choice. Don't go for the 30. Go for the 60. This game,
I like fidelity.
Yeah, this game is just so smooth. It's butter. It's such a different game. Like, it plays so differently. Like, it plays so much better. It's insane.
Yeah, my friend was doing this. I did the 30 because I don't care about any of that. I like it to look pretty. But my friend did the 60, and he was saying, like, when we were doing the Hawkeye stuff, that like the dodge felt easier to do.
Yep.
Like, I guess because there's more frames, like, you know, it's filling in that extra space.
Yeah.
But you don't think about those kinds of things, you know, like that moves can be easier to pull off with higher frame rate.
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny because the dodge in Avengers and the dodge in Odyssey are mapped on opposite buttons. One's the left one, one's the right one. So I keep confusing myself when I go between the games. It's funny. I've been playing with I played with a friend last night, and he's still on the PS4. And I couldn't tell if the reason why things were taking so long was because it's waiting for his game to load while I'm just sitting there. So I'm just like, oh, this is like, I could be going somewhere already.
See, I kind of wondered about that because like we were both on PS5 when we went through it, so it wasn't a problem. But I kind of wondered if it would just like drop you in separately, and like if they would, you know, join the mission whenever their load happened, or
you just have to wait for them. Yeah. The elevators aren't so bad. Like, it'll drop you in at the same time. Like, it's not, the loading isn't so bad for that. But going between like the Quinjet and like into the missions and stuff, you have to just wait for them. You can't do anything. The actual story campaign of the Hawkeye stuff itself is like about an hour and a half. That's around where I completed it. And they actually go into the future. You deal with future Hawkeye. Justin, you want to take over for this? Because I don't really know the timeline for this.
Yeah, so what I thought was really interesting about the Hawkeye stuff was like there's like actual NPCs. So like it starts actually, you go to Brooklyn to grab Lucky, the dog, from whoever Hawkeye has babysitting him. And the mission objective takes you to like a rooftop where there's just like people having a barbecue. And it's like, it's the first time in the game that I feel like you've just like run into people.
Yeah.
And, you know, and it's so jarring, but it's kind of cool. It's like, they're, you know,
it's like you're playing Spider-Man or something. It's crazy.
Right. Exactly. And so that was neat. And like people attack the barbecue and everyone like runs away or whatever. But then you, in the future, you find like a hideout where future Hawkeye, I guess, had kind of created his own little resistance force. And there's just a bunch of people there, and you can like talk to them and like kind of get some insight and stuff before you continue on with the mission. But yeah, like I like how they kind of made the world feel lived in with him, because he is just a guy, like, you know, he just hangs out in Brooklyn and whatnot, and so it felt a lot more personal than a lot of the others did. But yeah, so anyway, it picks up right after the Kate Bishop DLC ends. So Hawkeye is kind of dealing with like some temporal displacement issues. And you basically have to go with him to the future to like solidify his place in the present, like fix the temporal issues or whatever. And in the future, you run into his future self, who is like essentially the last living Avenger, because he quit. So all the other Avengers died in like this big battle. And he didn't know about it because he quit like soon after the events of the game, basically. So he hadn't been an Avenger for like, I don't actually know how long this has been. Like 30 years, probably.
It's pretty long.
I think they said 30 years.
Yeah.
And so, you know, it's kind of lucky that like that's why he's alive, but it's also super unbelievable that Hawkeye is the last remaining Avenger. Like in general, this game does not do a very good job of like establishing the threats of the world, because, you know, we still only have like 3 villain sectors. So like every time there's a villain related to something, it's, you know, Abomination or Taskmaster.
Yeah, speaking of Taskmaster,
like,
he shows
so
up.
are there? Yeah,
in...
I was gonna get to that,
Okay.
but like, it's like, are there other villains out there? Like, I mean, the Avengers have been around for, you know, at least 5 years. I'm sure they fought others.
Yeah.
But even in the future, like, you know, Clint is the last remaining Avenger. Like, there's no others out there that, you know, haven't been brought into the game yet that still exist. They're gone, apparently. And seemingly the only villain left is, well, AIM, technically. Like Zombie AIM.
Still there. Yeah.
And Taskmaster. Which, again, like, it's basically 2 non-powered, like, just super good fighter guys that have lived into the apocalypse.
And Taskmaster, like, they even make the joke about it. It's like, oh, you're still here? Like,
yeah. So, like, and in fact, like, you don't even fight him. So it really could have been anyone.
Yeah.
It felt weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's some cool stuff in there. Like, I really like the future kind of wasteland setting. It's probably like my second favorite like mission setting behind like Brooklyn, because I like the city layout. But it all ends in a fight against. That's why I say technically Hawkeye is the last remaining Avenger, because it ends with a fight against Future Hulk, who's now known as Maestro. And it's a pretty cool boss fight. Like,
he's way bigger than the Hulk. I had the Hulk on my team, and I was like, wow, like Hulk looks tiny compared to him.
I guess he just kept growing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a lot of like gamma radiation in the wasteland, and so it just like kept bulking him up. I don't know. But yeah. It's a little unfortunate about his hairline. But Maestro was cool. Like, the boss fight felt different. I was worried it was gonna just be like a, you know, Abomination reskin, but it was totally unique. I really hope they make that into a villain sector, because I'd love to fight him again. But yeah, there's not a lot to it. Like, it's a cool landscape and a really nice boss fight and some pretty good character interactions, although you can kind of see some of the like the facial expressions and stuff aren't quite up to snuff from the rest of the game. You can see where some of the development strain has come into this game and the DLC. But I think I'm extra aware of that because I've been replaying the campaign to record it. So I'm seeing the kind of quality differences between the DLC and the main campaign. But like you said, Hawkeye himself is very fun to play. You get an unlockable like combo at one point where you hold triangle, which is like your heavy button, and he does like an alternating volley of different types of arrows. So like you hold the button and he like shoots out just a regular like explosive arrow or something, and then you hit the button again like a few times and he cycles through his different arrow types. So like you can be doing a fully like up close combo, you know, knock the enemy away and then switch into this ranged combo without ever going into like the aiming reticle, because I never aim. I hate like, using the aiming reticle stuff to hit enemies. Like, it feels so slow and clunky.
Yeah.
And especially with these ranged focused characters, like it just kind of makes them seem less good at what they're doing.
Yeah, funny enough, it does.
Yeah, but with this, it's like it's such a fluid combo, and
I like oh, sorry. I was just gonna say that I like the gravity well stuff combos that he does. Like 4 square and then triangle. Like he leaves that giant gravity well on the.
Yeah, that was really cool too.
But
yeah, in general, I like the way he combines like ranged and melee in his combos because Kate doesn't really do that. Yeah. She has her, her ranged abilities, but her combos don't really bring in arrows, and his like are a lot more diverse.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got the sword stuff and the bow stuff all in his combos. But yeah, I think that like one of the last of the arrow types is like basically like a volley of like homing arrows.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go like explosive razor, I think is one of them that's like it just kind of shoots through enemies, and then this just like arc of like 6 arrows that kind of converge on a point.
Mm-hmm.
And it just wrecks shop.
Nice.
Like it's really satisfying.
They did the thing with Captain America for him where he can shoot out an arrow and then like throw the arrow back.
Captain America can?
Yeah, like Captain America's shield where you can throw the shield out and then kick it back. He does the same thing with a boomer hit with the arrow. Yeah. Okay. So you can do the same kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, he's a lot of fun to play.
He's quickly becoming my favorite character, and I did not expect that because I am an avid like Hawkeye prankster. Yeah, not hate. I mean, he's fine. Like I appreciate his character, like in the comics, but he's a joke as an Avenger, I think. And then like this game has actually made him seem like really viable and cool, and I'm like, dang it, I like Hawkeye now.
Yeah, I saw the 2 things that I got from the store right away because I had some free currency that they gave out.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Old Man Hawkeye skin, and I also got the Lucky Dog emote. It was pretty good.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to grind out challenge cards so I can buy his challenge card. I had foolishly like randomly spent units on things like early game, and now I'm low. I didn't realize it.
Dude, what's the deal with the challenge cards? Because you have to unlock them apparently.
Yeah. For the DLC characters, you have to unlock them using 1,000 credits.
Okay, I didn't even notice that. I just unlocked it and I was like, oh.
Yeah, you probably had enough. I did that for Kate because I had plenty.
Okay.
But when I booted up the Hawkeye stuff, I hadn't played in a while and I had like 500.
Okay.
Because I never do my challenges. So like, yeah, I think each character's challenge card nets you like at least 1,000 credits. But I haven't completed any of them. I think I'm close with Thor. But like the last, like in the 40 to 50 range, you get a 500 credit spot like on each character. So like you never really have to spend money, but that requires completing every challenge card. So it's kind of tricky.
All right. I think with that, we'll move into an ad break, and then we'll talk about the Snyder Cut.
Did you watch it?
I did.
Okay. Ben, I think you finished it, right?
Maybe.
We don't have any news, so we don't have any news, so we're gonna do the Snyder Cut. All right, breaks up.
Justin.
Yeah.
And Thomas, are you guys still okay with Wednesday for Shin Godzilla? Because that day, Godzilla versus Kong comes out, and I'm okay with it because I want to watch this movie with you guys, and I can just watch Godzilla versus Kong the next day. Which means I have to miss your stream.
Absolutely not. Yeah, that's fine.
What time?
Probably 6 Eastern, so probably 7 your time because I'd rather get it done early.
6 Central.
Yeah. I still haven't DM'd you the code. I keep forgetting every day.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. I have to take my dad to surgery that day, I think. So I'll be in the morning. It's not at night, so it's fine.
Okay. Yeah. So I hate that Kong. Why does it have to come out on Wednesday? Because I would totally be.
Yeah, it's weird.
But like whatever, it's fine. I'll watch it the next day because I'm not gonna watch it after we're done. I have to go to bed when we're done, probably.
I mean, yeah, we're not gonna watch. Like, I'm gonna watch it with my wife, and we're not gonna watch it on a Wednesday. So, like, it's fine.
And I just need the thumbnail for Godzilla 2014 and Kong Skull Island because Tyler's edited both of those.
Okay.
So that's all I need. And then we
Those
just
are easy enough because I'm familiar with them.
Yeah.
Let me know when you guys are good.
I was born here.
I'm never good. Like I'm just trash. Like why am I here? Why are you like?
You're godlike. What are you talking about?
I am not godlike. I'm the furthest thing from
it. You're Satan-like? Don't answer that.
That's such a boomer answer. I've never.
Welcome back, everyone. We're gonna go into the review for Justice League Snyder Cut. I think I'll just go.
It's Zack Snyder's Justice League.
All right.
You peasant.
I don't know. I don't have HBO Max. I don't know the full name of this thing.
Did it not show the name on whatever weird Canadian service you watched it on?
I didn't pay attention. I just watched the movies. Justice League. Anyways, yeah, I think we'll go around the table first and just get everyone's like overall opinions of it. Justin.
It was still an inherently flawed movie, but exponentially better than anything else we would have gotten from a studio involvement. I think if it wasn't for the fact that we have a streaming focus right now and a pandemic and everything, we never would have gotten this.
No,
and so
like, yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that like it's a good thing that we had a pandemic, but like I'm glad we finally had an excuse to get this movie out and it's in its entirety because it was worth the watch, even if it's not perfect.
Ben?
I loved it. Definitely feels like the culmination of both Man of Steel and Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Felt huge. It felt big. It was slow, but I don't mind that. Everybody complained about the glacial pace, but I was just like, just let me sit in there. Because not often in these movies do you get to just.
Did you know that 10% of the movie is in slow mo?
I don't care. I block so many people because I just got tired of seeing pretentious bitching about the Snyder Cut. Like either watch it or shut the fuck up, please. You're getting annoying at this point. But I loved it. And it was definitely my favorite movie. This is obviously way better than the Whedon cut because I've said this before, even before the allegations came out. Whedon's a fucking hack. He's been a hack for almost, I would say, most of his career. Yeah, this is definitely better. This is not the movie we would have gotten had Zach would have originally directed it.
No, you're right.
But this version that we did get, I was as impressed. I kind of want to watch it again, but also it's a long movie. But I'll probably just other things to watch. I would like to own this on Blu-ray, and that's how I love something because I don't ever buy Blu-rays anymore.
I would like to hear Zack Snyder's commentary over this movie. That would be really interesting to me.
No, I don't want that.
Dude's still pretentious. Like he made a good movie.
Yeah.
No, I just want to hear what he has to say about the things that he did. That's all.
Fair.
Yeah, I mean, best DC movie by a large mile.
Yeah, this is yeah. I'm with you guys. Same thing. Some flaws, but
same.
I'm same like. But yeah, they did a really good job going into the backstories for some of these characters because they had the time for it. The 4:3 aspect ratio was an interesting choice, but I don't think I was that affected by it because I've only been watching old shit, so I'm used to it by now. I really enjoyed
4:3, but whatever.
What did I say?
You said 4:3, but it's That's the closest thing it is that people are familiar with, but it's not technically 4x3. It's like 1.35. I don't remember. It's IMAX dimensions.
All right, whatever. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I think they did a way better job with the Flash in this. Cyborg's backstory, etc., etc.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, guys. Go watch it. I don't know if you have anything else to say on this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I was gonna say like I was. Yeah, I mean it's a flawed movie. Cyborg definitely giving like you could totally tell Cyborg was fucking screwed in the Whedon cut.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't even close. Like nothing from that Whedon used. He basically pretty much tossed Cyborg aside, and he was the heart and soul of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the movie doesn't happen without him. It was basically like him. It was his movie co-starring the Justice League.
And it's like we went out of his way to cut him out. Like he gave other people exposition that was just okay to replace things that like were central to Cyborg's character.
Mm.
Right,
like a lot of Mother Box stuff.
Yeah,
Mother Box stuff, the great stuff with his dad.
Yeah,
you know, like so much, some stuff. Honestly, I thought were Whedon things. Were like, oh shit, Snyder did that because
the jokes
that I'm never using anything from that fucking cut, which like he didn't because I could tell. It's easy to tell like which versions were Whedon's. The Martha Lois scene in the original cut, which is like about being thirsty. I'm like, and then the Batman basically going, oh, I think something's bro bleeding. I'm like, shut up.
Batman doesn't make jokes. What is up with that? Unless it's something about hockey pads.
I'm not. Yeah, shut up. God, Batman was so good. Flash was so good. Like they actually felt like a team. Like you got to see them kind of like be antagonizing a little bit. You got to see them bond together.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice. And yeah.
I mean, they did their team fatality on Steppenwolf. Like that was.
Oh yeah, Steppenwolf. They did such a good job with Steppenwolf in this. That's actually probably my favorite thing in this. Because you actually get to see his motivations, like why he's doing what he's doing.
He's not just a generic bad guy.
Yeah, he's
actually not tragic, but like you kind of understand like what he's doing. It's not Thanos levels either.
Yeah, he's doing it for his family, basically. And he's in great debt to Darkseid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, my favorite shot of this movie is that last section after Wonder Woman slices off Steppenwolf's head, and it's basically just a glare down between the Justice League and Darkseid. It's just like I'm like pretty much like I've seen this interaction so many times, but just seeing it act and then seeing Granny Goodness, which I had a Desaad. Yeah, I had a friend of mine who she has no idea who Granny Goodness is because the New Gods are like so like obscure DC. She's like, who's that woman? I'm like, it's Granny Goodness. Her name is Granny Goodness. I'm like, yeah, she's so yeah, like, but just that stare down. And I'll still maintain like I liked his version of Superman. I still maintain that.
The black super suit.
Yeah, fuck it. Sorry. I saw so many Martha memes this week, and it just annoyed the shit out of me. I need to make a TikTok of why the Martha scene is actually a good scene, but whatever.
Yeah, there's been plenty of analysis about that. The one thing that bothered, on relation to Martha, the one thing that kind of bothered me was the way they shoehorned Martian Manhunter into that emotional scene between her and Lois. Like, you didn't need that. Because you could have had that scene between them, not shown her turn into Martian Manhunter and then turn into the army guy, and still had the scene at the end with Martian Manhunter talking to Superman. Like, that was totally unrelated to having that reveal at the end.
I don't know, but I think it's because of the fact that there is an established relationship between Lennox, the general's name, and Lois. Like they know each other, they're familiar with each other. He probably knows that Lois is suffering from the death of Superman, death of Clark, and so he's like, well, she's not going to talk to me because I'm just an army guy, but he obviously cares some degree about her. That's why I didn't find that. I know I feel like everybody is like doesn't like that scene. I didn't mind it because I just saw him trying to help Lois the best way he can, and obviously Martha was dealing with her own problems. She realized what Lois was dealing with, which that happened. So like he was just doing what he thought was best, while also going like, "Hey, it's Martian Manhunter," and the fact that like also, dude, where the f- are you?
Right.
You?
That's the biggest problem to me. Is like
But
he was
also-
around. If he just showed up at the end, he could have been off in space and not heard about it until afterwards.
Right.
Because that was clearly a few months later. But the fact that he was there all along, manipulating Lois into like basically, you have to help them. Like you have to, and then like he's just gone during the final fight. Like that's a glaring omission. Then
You need to live. Like he wasn't manipulating. He was just basically giving her a pep talk, like it's okay to mourn, but like you have to live. He wouldn't want you to be like this, Lois. He was just basically giving her a friend talk. But Lois isn't going to take that talk from Lennox. She just won't, even though they're acquaintances. It's like I wouldn't do that manipulating at all.
I think it wouldn't have hurt. It like you wouldn't lose anything by cutting out that reveal, because you can still have him at the end, and it's a big moment, and then no one's questioning where he was the whole fight at that point. But by establishing him earlier in the movie, you wonder where he was. But I think the coolest stuff, like you said, was Flash, like the time travel elements and things like that. I've watched a few like kind of deep dives of the meaning of some of the things, and it's all like there's a lot of depth to this movie that the Whedon cut did not have. But the funniest thing to me about this version versus the theatrical version is how many things were like they completely, like for the theatrical, they completely set back up all of the sets and everything, or at least had a very convincing green screen, and injected like one bad joke into the scene. Like the whole rest of it was, the Snyder vision. But like, for example, when Batman and Flash meet, like I assumed that whole thing was Whedon because it was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
It turns out all Whedon did was add in some rant about brunch. Why?
Yeah.
Yeah, that joke about
right on its own.
That joke about like, what's your superpower? I'm rich. Like,
yeah,
you would think that's not a Snyder thing, but it totally was.
I thought it was funny in the original version, and now I feel validated for that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. And like the most glaring one of Flash falling on top of Wonder Woman, the scene that she didn't even want to film, and they still did it anyway. And like. That was pretty much the only thing added during that scene, but they set it all back up.
Yeah, the other one I can think of is when Superman first resurrected, and then there's that close-up shot where he's like interrogating Batman, and he's like, "Tell me, do you bleed?" When it's like that's none of that's here. It's like he just pretty much bodies Batman.
Mm-hmm.
That whole scene
like uses those kryptonite or the heat vision gauntlets or whatever.
The absorbing gauntlets, yeah.
Yeah, they've been testing earlier in the movie to stop Superman, like, which is a much better defense other than I hurt, I didn't, like,
yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And then Superman didn't have that, I'm a big fan of justice and what, I don't remember what that line was, but it was stupid. He didn't have that.
Still, one of the best moments in that movie is when he's holding back the Justice League and Flash comes around and Superman just looks at him, just like, I see you.
I see you, bitch.
It's so great.
Yeah.
Or like, God, like, I understand Snyder's not exactly what people want in terms of like what maybe when you want to see these characters in live action, but like, I like what he does. Because it's different and
he's great at like cinematically setting up a scene. He's a visionary, and I don't mean that in like a he's a genius way. I just mean like he knows how to frame a shot and make it beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I didn't mind the weird aspect ratio, because it looked like a comic book panel. Like he wanted it.
Can we talk about that? They fucking did that shot, the slow-mo shot. Oh, them all together?
Yeah.
Oh, so cool. That was like the hypest moment of that fight for me. It was like, yeah, let's go. Oh, that whole fight was so much better.
Mhm.
Not involving the stupid family. For some fucking reason, we gotta have a family here.
Yeah.
The action isn't enough.
Although Batman was still pretty much sidelined the entire time.
He's Batman. He's not gonna do much.
Right.
Once the car gets taken out, he's just a dude in a bat costume. He can only do so much.
Right. Yeah.
It did bother me, like, that when I was watching the movie, that, you know, super speed Flash got taken out by a parademon with a gun. But
Yeah.
I was reading up on some stuff, and basically, like, they were saying that because he's moving, like, so fast, he's technically at every position at once.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't miss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
the
kinda
way I
makes
took
sense.
it, yeah, they just tripped him up, right? Like he shoot out of it, just disrupts the ground and trips him up.
No, he was shot in the leg.
Oh, was he?
He got shot in the stomach.
Oh, he got shot in the stomach.
Yeah, he got shot in the stomach, man.
Okay.
He got hit.
I don't remember.
Yeah. But it's like, how could you hit him moving that fast? But it's like, not even, like, it's maybe like 3 frames of view. So, like, yeah,
I take
you
it as
shoot,
that
you're
like,
gonna hit it.
parademons have like enhanced vision because like they're super, like they're stronger. They're not normal people. He was just shooting at where he was going to be, not where Flash was going.
It was a lucky shot.
That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
That too, yeah.
I think they could have done it where it was like a, you know, rapid fire. So he was just shooting at that space and then it hit him.
Mm.
The fact that it was one shot made it like kind of questionable, but I do like the explanation that people made for it.
That's funny.
But yeah, that time travel scene was gorgeous. Like when he's running and he's like, you gotta break the rule, and like you hear his dad's voice in his head, and like he's running faster than like the, you know, basically the destruction is happening around him, and he's like the ground is reforming under his, like, every step he takes.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like they fail and then he like rewinds the time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like Zack Snyder, he knows how to frame a shot and like make things look good.
Like the storyboarding and stuff like that can all take a hit. He's very self-indulgent. Like I didn't need 5 minutes.
Oh my god, yeah.
Walking through the snow to find Aquaman. Like some of those things, like it's too much.
Yeah.
But I mean, the man knows how to bring a comic book to life.
Mm-hmm. The epilogue. You guys want to talk about that?
Crash. I hated it so much. Worst part of this movie didn't need to happen.
Yeah. I thought it was a very good dialogue between Batman and Joker, but we didn't need it. Again, it was very self-indulgent.
I would consider that trash too. That whole exchange was just like, it's mostly Jared Leto, honestly. Batman, Ben Affleck was fine, and I did like the idea where he basically calls him out like, "You're not gonna kill me. You would have killed me. You would have done it a while ago."
Yeah.
I like that part, but Jared Leto, you can go fuck yourself. You're awful. I'm sorry. You're not. His laugh is just like, it's like you're strangling an eel and it's trying to gasp for air. He's awful. This like. If you cut off that 25 minutes and just made it a 3.5 hour movie, I guarantee you more people will be praising this.
It is not 25 minutes. It's like 5.
No, it's not.
It's not very long. It's not very long.
It's like it's a long epilogue. It's not 5 minutes.
No, I mean the whole epilogue is not that scene.
No, but I'm talking not that scene, but that whole epilogue just cut it. Not needed. You didn't need that epilogue.
Oh, I thought there was some nice stuff, like where the characters are. Like,
I mean, like for a movie series, it's not going to happen. Like, why? Like, that's my problem. It's like it's not going to go anywhere. Like, why do that?
Hopefulness.
Like, you already established that Darkseid's going to come and beat ass with the whole like prepare my armada. Like, you already know Darkseid's coming. Like, the idea that Superman could still turn. Wasn't because of this battle, because of another one. That's not. I just feel like it was unnecessary. And while there were that one bit of Batman Joker dialogue was decent, everything else is just like, okay, bye. No, I don't need this. I don't need to see Flash, Cyborg. Yeah, cool that you're still alive. But like it just felt way too over the top and just like
again. Needed. I'm not talking about the future section. I'm talking like that's not all the epilogue was. There was also the stuff with like Flash going to talk to his dad and showing him his new crime lab job, and Clark and Bruce. Wow. Talking about the Kent farm, and he's like, how'd you get it back? Oh, I bought the bank. Like, again, I thought that was a Wheaton scene.
Yeah.
Was not.
Yeah.
And then the congratulations on Lois's pregnancy, which was a nice touch. And like I thought the Cyborg like rebuilding the tape recorder was a little strange. Like I don't know
that
how
was weird. Yeah.
Power set. But like I know he can talk to machines, but it was like shattered. But I did like the kind of voiceover of his dad like throughout that whole scene. I thought it fit what everyone was going through in a nice way. But yeah, it could have ended with just kind of the what's next for these characters in the present, and it didn't need that like weirdly orange saturated future scene.
I might be misremembering it because it was a long movie, but I could have sworn it says epilogue. Like that stuff happens. Like you see Superman, he has the black S and everything like that, the silver S rather, and then it says epilogue, and then it's the nightmare stuff. That's like I could be misremembering it, but
no,
that's all.
You're right. He does open his shirt, and then it goes to that stuff, but that's not the epilogue. The epilogue starts at the shot of all of the Justice League members after they kill Steppenwolf, and then it's epilogue, and then it's each of the characters like where they're at.
But
Superman opens his shirt, and then it goes to the future stuff.
Yeah, nightmare stuff.
It also goes to the post-credit scene, post credits in quotes.
That also did need to be there too.
Yeah,
there's
it works.
The whole Deathstroke stuff
doesn't work as part of the movie.
I'll say that I enjoyed the future stuff. It's probably just because like the last time I read a comic book, it was the Injustice series, so like I have an attachment to that kind of thing. And it got me hyped for Injustice, but it's not going to happen because
What I like just a movie like with that team, but I didn't need it as part of this movie.
Yeah, it just made me hopeful for something that's not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah,
and I get it. That's why he did it to try and he got like the fans got him this.
Yeah.
So if they like now the restore the Snyderverse. Trend is everywhere
now. Yeah.
So will WB listen to that now? Maybe like do a whole series of movies just for streaming. Who knows?
If it means more people will sign up, that's the question, right?
Exactly.
We were lucky to get this. If we get more, that's just greedy, dude. I'd watch it.
I honestly think.
I mean, they're making a Peacemaker show. Like, come on.
I don't even know who that is.
That's John Cena's character in Justice League and Suicide Squad.
So they're giving John Cena a TV show?
Yeah.
Well, that's why, because he's John Cena, not because of the character.
No one's gonna know what that character's name is. It's just gonna be John Cena.
But I'm just saying, they could do the same for Joss Whedon or not J.J. Abrams. No, Zack Snyder's. Movie universe, like a mini series or something of like I don't know.
I don't think they'll do it just because even though because we don't really know what successful means for this in terms of streaming because it gets always so fucking vague.
Yeah.
But let's look at the last time Zack Snyder made a movie, which was Batman Superman. Well, I love that movie. That shit bombed. That shit bombed hard, both critically and financially. So that is probably your biggest nomination. Why you ain't get any more. Even though I love this one and I like Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition, you're not getting another one because it bombed. Money talks.
I mean, he's got that new movie coming to Netflix soon. We'll see how that does.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said,
but again,
how do you quantify?
Right.
Like you quantify successful streaming by getting new subscribers to watch your new shit. So if a lot of people signed up for HBO Max because of and didn't cancel because I think that's the ultimate like trend and kept your shit subscription, I think that's success, but who knows with the streaming world? Like, it's so vague. There's no like box office money. Like, you could say watch time, but that's debate. That doesn't mean anything. You know, it's all about the subscriber count.
Well, the problem is a lot of them judge success by views, like views within a window of release. But that doesn't always equate to a subscriber boost. So they're really using the wrong metrics to judge the success of their.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's weird. So like that's why that's why I'm leaning towards no, because they're gonna look at the hard evidence that this movie, not exactly this movie, but that first cut of the movie did not do well at all.
Even though he showed the Batman v Superman box.
Yeah.
I didn't hold it long enough. My bad.
Well, this is an audio version.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna rewatch all 4 of these movies when I'm off, like on the weekend in April.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think like HBO Max is the best deal in streaming. Like anyway, I had it way before the Justice League came out.
Well, they revealed
you heard about the news, right?
They revealed that 1.8 million people watched the Snyder Cut, and only about a third of them finished it, which is actually not bad, I think, for finishing a movie.
The problem is it's the slowest part is the start.
Yeah.
What news, Ben?
Yeah, go ahead, Ben.
The day in release of HBO Max and theaters, that's ending next year. So it's only the best deal for this next year. So
I mean, there's still a lot of really good stuff on HBO though.
True, but right now it's the king. But how will they keep people next year when that promise of like, hey, I can just watch this big budget movie at home versus going to a theater? I mean, by that point, like, well, what's the tentative to keeping me HBO Max if I don't get these big movies like soon? Because that was the hook for HBO Max. It's like,
even more reason to have a bunch of DC original content.
That's for some people,
because that's one of the biggest properties. I mean, supposedly they're also doing a Harry Potter show, but that has its own baggage.
Yeah.
Martha.
I don't have anything else to say, so unless you guys want to wrap it up, say something now.
I never wrap it up.
Yeah, you don't have to.
All right. I think that's gonna be it for us tonight. Justin, where can people find you?
You can find me if you look for Zero Score on Twitter or YouTube or Twitch. Still not a lot of YouTube content. I'm just kind of putting out random gameplay things at the moment, just to kind of keep the channel active. I'm somewhat on a hiatus. That's just stuff that I'm throwing together last minute, like a VR video that I talked about. But I am streaming 2 days a week, so check me out on Twitch Mondays and Thursday nights around 7 p.m. Central Time.
Ben?
You can follow me at twitter.com/MarvelousIcky for all things related to the Marvelous One. You can check the pinned tweet for my latest video, which is on Hades and why I was wrong. And I'm glad that you're enjoying Hades, Justin.
Yeah.
And so also update on the Mortal Kombat 11 versus Earthbound poll and what my next video should be on. Earthbound is winning right now, I think with 56% of the vote. It's still about 5 days left at the time of this recording. So if you want to hear me talk about my love of MK and why MK, even though I love Street Fighter, it was MK that really birthed me into the world of the FGC and not Street Fighter. But, hey, if you want to hear me ramble about why Earthbound is such a, what?
No, I said MK birthing you. It's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Birthality.
In some mod, it's some MK Mugen. That's the thing. But yeah, if you want to, I'll talk about
reverse reality.
Yeah. So right now, it's leaning towards Earthbound. So you hear me talk about that, what I think about that game. And then I stream live 3 times a week. I apologize for the lack of streams this week. Number one, Tuesday I was just super tired from work, and then the other day I just was not feeling it. It was really rainy and cold. Not rainy, but like it was overcast sky. I just didn't feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fucking content creator. I get paid for this, so I don't need to do it whenever I want to. So, but I've been more consistent than I have ever been, so it's fine. But I stream now. The new schedule is Sundays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Central Time. That'll be that'll be more single player stuff, and then Wednesdays will now be co-op day with Tyler. Like I said, we're doing Super Mario World, and then after that, we're probably gonna do Resident Evil 5. After that, we might do a small game in between just to break things up. But we're probably gonna do Resident Evil 5 after that. And also Atomic Shots. I apologize for the lack of episodes. The most recent one of Godzilla the Planet Eater went live. Tyler's been having issues with his computer, but those should be out. Both Godzilla 2014 and Kong Skull Island will be out by the time this recording's out. At least one of them should be. Both of them probably will be. Of course, then the following week, me and Tyler will release the episode of Godzilla King of the Monsters, the penultimate film of the Monsterverse. And then finally, with these two jamokes, me and Tyler will be watching Shin Godzilla because I thought it'd be fun to watch possibly the best Godzilla movie with guys who have no Godzilla knowledge whatsoever and see if that magic still holds.
I have some.
And then, what was that?
I have some knowledge.
Well, like, not like me and Tyler have, it's not the same. Anyways, but like, so like and then of course Tyler and I will record a regular Atomic Shot where we just kind of dissect the film by ourselves. And then we will do an episode on Godzilla vs. Kong, but I think we'll probably wait like a week or two afterwards just so all the spoilers are out and we can talk about it freely. And then we'll take a break before we come back with our next thing because we still need a name for that. But that's it.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube as Kane Plays Stuff. Ben, we have to do WrestleMania 11.
I told you I was gonna win.
I hate you, man. I legitimately hate you right now.
I don't know anything about wrestling, but I voted for it because you said it's the worst one.
I know.
I love chaos.
I shouldn't have advertised it as the worst one.
Nope.
That's
on you.
Yeah.
You could have done anything to promote WrestleMania 13. No, you chose to hey, I want to make these guys go through turmoil. And listen, man, I'm doing this for your benefit because this means we don't have to talk about it ever again. That's all it means. Okay, get it out of the way first.
I could have advertised the main event for 11, and then nobody would know who those people are that would vote.
Yeah, and then be like, well, I'll just go for Stone Cold and Bret. No, you said worse. Let's have them suffer. So suffer we must, like Jesus did at the hands of the
the next time we're gonna do a worst pay-per-view of all time, I'm gonna make that a paid thing. I don't want to do it for free. So yeah, we got that to look forward to.
Starcade 89 Battle Bowl.
Yeah. You can also email me, thomas@charshot.com, if you want to be a guest on one of our shows. Let me know. You can also review our show on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you get podcasts. And tell a friend. Let them know about us. That's how we grow. And thank you all for listening. And until then, have a good night. Enjoy your games. Goodbye.
Bye.
Never leave behind. What got you through the struggle or what got you through the grind? It's on the rise.